Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Spencer Ostrowski, and this is Delivering Sports Show. Just got back from the game, obviously. That's actually probably my last home game for a long time. Some unfortunate life circumstances have come up, so I probably won't be able to go to the games anymore, but I'll be able to watch them, so it's more important. And I guess the bright side to all of it is I'll be able to get these videos out quicker because obviously when I go to the game, I got to get back to record. So yeah, exciting game. It was fanny pack night, which is nice, but more importantly, it was Pride night, and I definitely want to take a second just to recognize, like, it was just great to see everyone out there. Doesn't matter who you like or all that other, shit that people are so, I don't know, people make it such a big deal, but there's a lot of great T-shirts like "Love is Love," all that good stuff. So it's definitely worth taking a moment just to recognize that, and it was good to see people having fun. More importantly, above all, and a very diverse crowd tonight, a very great crowd. The house was full. I mean, it was nuts, actually. I think that may have been the most full I've ever seen it. Everyone was loud. From what I've seen from other games in the WNBA, it's definitely one of the fuller stadiums. We're definitely one of the more popular teams. And from what I've seen from the first season and now, it's obviously a huge difference. It's great to seeing the team grow from when I went to the first ever home game to this home game in the middle of the season against a team that isn't very good. So kudos to all the Aces fans, and I think I saw some of my Twitter followers actually. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to just go up to random people. And before I start, it's just funny enough. I was sitting next to these like very pretty women, and they must have thought I was insane by myself, like writing all these notes on my phone and stuff like that. Just a quiet. I'm like a quiet guy, I just write these notes on my phone, and as I'm watching the game to analyze it, so I don't forget these what to say later. So if anyone if you any of you see this, I'm sorry. I'm not insane. I was just trying to do my job. In any case, I'll get started on some post game coverage here. In the beginning, Liz had a bad game, in her own words after the game in her post game coverage or conference or a little meeting thing. She said she was shit, and she was. No, definitely true. She wasn't playing very well. Her post game, I think, just needs to develop a little bit. She didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff in Dallas because she was being fed the ball so much. But now she was getting limited touches with a team with so many other great players on it. So she has to get used to that. She has to maybe develop a fadeaway in the baseline, especially when she can see the double team coming. She would definitely be able to. She's 6'8". She's much bigger than everyone else. And to give credit to Tierra McCowan, of course, the rookie who has ginormous legs and is very strong. That's who I wanted the Aces originally to draft before the Liz Cambage went down, and she really is good. I mean, she's going to become one of the dominant players in the WNBA in the future. So I feel like I was right about that pick, at the time being. And wow, she's really good. And I'll talk a little bit more about the defensive matchups, I guess, as the game goes on. But yeah, Liz had a lot of struggles, and when she starts hitting her elbow jumpers, I think that does a lot to her credit to give up a little more space in the post. Every shot counts. So she came up huge in overtime, obviously, and that's something you like to see from your star player. And speaking of star player, before I go any further on, the Twitter Aces headband or banner, whatever the hell it's called, and in the promotions outside as you walk through the stadium, she's nowhere to be found on those. That's horrible marketing. That must feel bad for her if she would ever see that. She goes, okay, I'm like the best player on the team. Can I like be shown to people? Clearly, like, people buy her jersey. I see it everywhere in the stands. Like, people know who she is. People like her. Why isn't Carolyn Swords on the banner being replaced by her? I don't think it's acceptable. I hold the WNBA to the same standards as the NBA should, as every other fan should. So that really bothers me. In any case, we'll keep going. Guards have done a bad job throughout the entire season of boxing out on rebounds. I think this team gives up a ton of offensive rebounds. Today, they gave up 7, so not as bad as usual. But on a normal night, and even tonight, of course, even the 7 rebounds, I think maybe 4 of them came from the guards not boxing out. They have to be a little more mindful of that when they're doing it. It's either they commit all the way to the boxing out and just crashing the defensive boards, or you go for the fast break because something has to give there. And with tonight, the offensive rebounds gave, so something that I noticed. This team Indiana should never been in this game, period, because they're just not as good as this team. And in any case, the whole night was terrible because they would just not help off the 3-point line. I don't understand. What's the point? In my notes say what the effing point? What's the point of helping off the 3-point line if they're just going to hit threes? We have two dominant defensive players in the post in Liz Cambage and A'ja Wilson. I don't understand why we're going under screens. Why when players drive to the baseline, you double team them. I can't tell you how many threes we're giving up from that alone. It makes no sense, and it's not helpful for the team. This team looks so, all the away announcers when they talk about the team, like, oh man, Bill Laimbeer's defense is stifling. There's no way. I don't believe this team's defense is stifling because it's not. It's not good at all. It doesn't defend the 3-point line, and that nearly lost them the game tonight against a team that isn't very good. Yeah. Tonight they looked a lot like last year's team in terms of defensively, and that was frustrating. It's not what you want to see, obviously. Last year's team couldn't get through screens, and tonight they were just getting bullied, and a lot of times they were going under and just giving up. If you go back and look at the game tape, I don't have access to the game tape. I can't show it to you guys because that would be copyrighted, obviously. I don't have access to that kind of stuff, but if I was allowed, I would show you guys when this team fights through the over screens and doesn't double team. No player in this league outside of Delle Donne is double team worthy. I'm just going to say that right now. The only other player last year was Liz Cambage, and she's on this team. So there's no player that the Aces should be double teaming, and they always double team off the screen, and it never works. They pass it out every single time for open shots. It's so frustrating. If there's a time when they had Hamby in for small ball, which is, that's crazy. Who would think that Bill Laimbeer would even allow such a thing? But if they do it, they need to do it all the way. When you go small ball, the whole point is that you're faster than the other team, and this team actually did a pretty good job tonight of with the fast break points. It's not available on stats here, but whatever it was, the team did very well in the open court, which is a really big thing for this team because when they can do it, and that's when players like Jackie Young start getting aggressive. When Jackie Young gets aggressive in the open court, she's much more effective than when she's forcing the ball in the half court. And she had a really, really solid game, like great pushing the ball. And I hope she does that more. It makes a big difference for this team. She gets her own baskets and she sets up teammates. And the team, most teams are slower than us. If we really wanted to push the pace, we have a lot of smaller players on our team. So it was good to see them do that. Something I noticed about Kayla McBride's offense specifically, a lot of the offense is off-ball screens for her. She catches and shoots. She's not exactly a catch-and-shoot player, if you guys will take a look. She gets a lot of catch-and-shoot opportunities, but she doesn't make them a lot. When she gets on-ball screens, the team plays a lot more positively on offense. She's very fluid with the ball, and she's able to create her own shots, and she's actually very good at it. So I think the team needs to get away from forcing her to go off screens because she'll shoot it, and she's not afraid to shoot it, and she will shoot every time she catches the ball, whether the defense is on her or not. So another thing that I noticed. And last, of course, but not least, A'ja Wilson's 39 points and 12 rebounds tonight couldn't be stopped, obviously. Even, when they put McCowan on her, I was actually kind of worried because she was shutting down Liz Cambage completely the entire game. But A'ja was able to fade away. McCowan wasn't going for the fade, so she had it all game. She had an incredible spin move on her. And then when the smaller defender was on her, she just out-muscled him straight up, And we haven't seen that out-muscling a lot in this season like we did in her rookie season. And, the best thing about it, and it's something that I had talked about before, when she gets the ball in different places, that is when she's best. Not when she's just stupid passer at the elbow, not when she's stuck in one spot. She got the ball everywhere. And that's when defenses don't know how to react because she has a large bag of moves in the post, which is actually really great. So, yeah, it was fun to watch her, obviously. But, yeah, she went deep in her bag of moves today. Unstoppable, completely dominant. Just an overall, those last two games have been really good for her, I think, just in terms of her getting the ball in more positive scoring positions. That's a big problem with this team. Most of our players aren't getting the ball in positive scoring positions for what they are. Plum doesn't get the ball a lot in positive open 3-point shots. Kayla McBride is forced to catch and shoot, which she's not very good at. A'ja was getting forced on the elbows, and so is Liz, and that's not good either. Liz isn't very good from the elbow like A'ja is. So today there was an improvement. Shouldn't be hard to beat a team like Indiana like it was today. it is what it is. They got the win. It was fun. The house was rocking. So at the end of the day, they won the game. I can't be too mad, but we'll see. Hopefully something improves. A little more something improves. They actually defend the 3-point line, because as we saw against a team like the Mystics, who absolutely obliterated the Connecticut Sun today, who are the clear favorites to win the finals. If you want my opinion, I think they're going to cruise unless Bill Laimbeer is fired. They just are a lot better than every other team, and their coach is a lot better than every other coach in the league. So that's my opinion on tonight's game. I know I always seem so negative when they win the game, but I'm always thinking towards the future. So at the end of the day, it's really fun. Again, I won't be able to go to the games anymore, so post-game coverage will be out a lot sooner. Thank you for listening, guys. I love listening from you guys. I always say that in every video, but I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much.